Now, culture to me, if we put it all together, is made up of this. All the ways of being. All of our traditions, habits, beliefs, things that we do without even realizing it. Today, you're going to get a chance to analyze your culture. So I want you to look at your team. Okay? I want you to look at your team in your mind, and I want you to pick either a department or a group. I want you to have a group of people. Maybe it's a division, maybe it's a region, maybe it's a small project team. But I want you to have this group of people in mind. Okay? I want you to have this group of people in mind, and then I want you to answer a couple of things. The first one is, what's their attitude? And you can have more than one, like, well, 2 of us are happy, but the rest, don't even get me started. What are their attitudes? The second thing I want you to think about is, what is it normal to see? What is it normal to see? I'll give you some examples. Maybe it's very normal for us to walk out of a meeting and say, well, that could have been an email. I don't know why we're meeting. That was a waste. Maybe it's normal for people to hit reply all on the email, and then for everyone to say, why does everyone always reply all? I don't know. Right? I had one woman, she came over to me, she goes, it was her second week in her job, and we were meeting for the first time, and she goes, do we take a lunch? No, I knew what she was talking about, but I played like I wanted to try on her glasses, and I was like, oh, what do you mean? Legally, yes, hi, you should take a lunch. She looks at me, she goes, well, I went to go take a lunch, and one of the other nurses said to me, we work until the work is done. And I was like, oh, what'd you do? She goes, well, I sat back down. I didn't take a lunch. I just ate at my desk. And I said, you have bumped up against a norm. This cultural norm this little group has formed. It's not written down. I said, you're going to need to go back and say to them, hi, I'm going to work really hard after I take a lunch. A couple weeks later, I'm like, how is it going? Are you taking lunch? She goes, sometimes. And I'm like, okay, we're working on it. Now, the irony is the person that had started that norm had to have knee surgery. And she ended up looking at her and she goes, guess what? I'm taking a lunch and I'm going on a walk with you. And it was like, oh, that norm is shifting. The last thing I want us to think about are the beliefs, the things that we hold dear. In healthcare, if I stood up here and said, the patient does not come first, you would look at me like, this lady is crazy. In education, if I said, well, the student doesn't come first, same thing. What are the attitudes, norms, and beliefs that your team carries? Because as we think about culture, and as we start to shift into the us, right, there's me, there's them, and there's us, this is how we shape team culture, by shifting those attitudes, those norms, and those beliefs.